So let's get these balloon cars going. First thing you want to do, change the name. Always change the name first. It's a good habit to get into. Alright, let's grab one of these shapes. Any shape will do. Some work better than others. The rectangle shape seems to work really well. It's not the fanciest one, but it works. Now you're going to resize this by pulling on the handles. Always right click, move around, make sure you're seeing your project from all different angles. What we're building now is the manifold, which will do two different things. It's first going to hold the balloon onto the car. That's what this blue ring is for. And then it's also going to create a manifold for the air to go down into the car and eventually out the back. You want to make this the size that will fit your balloon. In this case, we're using a small 6-inch balloon. So about 20 to 25 millimeters works fine. I often center everything. When you're done with it, when you're happy with it, group it together so you don't need to mess with selecting all when you're moving it or resizing it. Now in this case, grab a hole and we're going to try and get it in the center and move it inside of the car. This is going to be the exhaust port. All the air is going to escape out this hole, eventually propelling the car forward. Now you want to make sure that it's all the way, and the size matters. The size matters a lot. If it's too big, the air will escape very quickly. You'll get this quick little burst of energy and then your car will just stop. In another case, if it's too small, the air is going to come out very slowly and you might get just enough energy to move the car, but not very quick. This does take some experimentation. Another thing that can change the way your car works is how much infill. When you're 3D printing, you can choose the amount of infill, and if your car is heavier, obviously it won't start off as quickly. It might gather momentum and travel further, but it depends on well, there's a lot of variables. Alright, get this all centered up. Now select all. We're going to group them, and that cuts our holes. And our manifold is ready. We've got the place where the balloon can sit and the air to come out. So let's figure out some axle holes. Now we make these 5 millimeters because I use wooden barbecue skewer sticks. They're super chipped, they're very strong, and they work perfectly. Obviously we're going to copy and paste because we need one in the front, one in the back. There's no sense in resizing this with a new shape, just copy and paste. Now the height matters too. You don't want it right down on the print bed because there'll be a slight hole, like a slit. So you raise it up, and if you raise it up too high, maybe your wheels won't touch the ground. In my experience, 2, 3, 4, 5 millimeters up off the print bed is fine. Or in this case, the work plane. Now we're looking pretty good. In fact, you could stop right there, but let's get some style going on. Obviously, this style is up to you. Just make sure you don't put holes where a manifold is. You don't want air coming out the side of your car. So let's grab this little star, resize it, smash it in there, probably turn it into a hole, and cut a cool star shape into the car. Let's get 2 of them going on here. Perfect. Alright, what else should we do? Looking good so far. Maybe we can put a name, a label, something on the top. Let's spin this around, get this resized, change the text, and we're good to go. You gotta make sure that it's not floating. Yeah, let's get it stuck in there. What should we do? Maybe engineering. That's a little bit bigger than I expected. Shrink that down a little bit. Oop, it's hanging off the side. There we go. Oh, but is it in the stars? Yes, it is in the stars. Let's fix that. Push it up, shrink it down, and then pull it down again. We could have done that a little bit more efficiently, but it's done now. Alright, how about that? That's a cool little car. One last grouping. It's a good habit to group everything together. Sometimes when you export, you get little pieces of your project. Alright, let's do another one. This time we're going to work with a cylinder. Now cylinders, I think, make a really cool car, but you gotta remember to cut off the bottom. Because it's a round shape, while it's 3D printing, it will literally roll around on the print bed. So you need to cut it. Let's grab a hole, any hole, doesn't matter what shape it is, as long as it's flat on one side, and it'll cut the bottom of that shape. And again, we're doing this so that it 3D prints nicely. It'll stick, it'll get some adhesion to the print bed, and you don't need to use supports. Now that it's floating, you can press the D key, D for drop. Even if things are under the work plane, you can press D and lift it straight up to the top. Now here we go with the manifold again. Notice I used the ring. It's already got a hole inside. Although it doesn't save us much time, it is a little bit more done than using a cylinder that's solid. Alright, get everything nice and lined up. Looks like about the right size. Use the align tool. And there we have it. So there's the top of the manifold. Let's try to get this onto the car. You need to resize it for your balloons. Make sure you remember what size your balloons are. Nice. Alright, we need to cut a couple of holes so the air can flow through. So far, so good. Ah, it's already aligned. Amazing. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Alright, here's the exhaust port. Air's gonna come out. Remember, about, I'd say 7 to 12 millimeters if you're using a 6-inch balloon, and you've got about 5% support, infill when you're 3D printing. Alright, make sure we get all the way under the balloon. And another good way to do this, copy and paste. Just rearrange it, raise it up, and we are almost done. Lift her up a bit. Looks great. So the inlet is attached to the exhaust. Alright, cut those out. Yeah, probably check the alignment real quick. Perfect. That's it. Alright, needed some axle holes. Just like we did with the rectangle red car. Change it to 5 millimeters. Rotate. Drop it down We're going to stretch it, stick it in the car, raise it up a tiny bit, 2 millimeters of work, copy paste, and we are pretty much done. We have 2 working cars, although the cylinder car that we're working on doesn't really look so hot. Let's see if we can make it a little bit more aerodynamic or add some style to it. I don't know. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments. Shall we try a scribble? I don't know. Let's go ahead and make it a bit more aerodynamic first. Then we'll get a little bit crazy with a scribble. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing here. Just trying to cut off the front at an angle. I'm having a good feeling that this is gonna work. Oh, look, there we go. Not quite. We can arrange this. That'll work. Almost. Perfect. Alright, make it a hole. Cut it up. Cool. Yeah, that looks way better. Alright, let's get some eyes. Oh, I don't know what kind of eye that is. Oh well, let's see what it does. Alright, it's a happy little car. Resize. We're gonna have to move this and rotate, I think, because it's on an angle. Alright, it fits on there, but it's protruding out quite a lot. And again, make sure once we're done that it's not inside of the axle hole like that. Don't want that. Rotate. Looks alright. Cool. That'll work. Happy little face. Alright, what else should we do? Put some bling on here. Let's get a diamond shape. Now don't forget the diamond has a tiny little point at the bottom, so you can't print it that way without a ton of supports. So in this case, I'm going to use just the top, and that'll print beautifully. And you can still see the diamond as just the diamond shape. So our happy car has bling. Alright, make sure it's all nice and aligned. Doop. Cool. Alright, let's group it. And there you have it. Cool little car. Again, you can use any shape that you want. These 2 shapes work pretty well. Easy to work with. Alright, let's do something a little bit more creative. I don't know how creative. What do you think? The duck car. Let's move these away. I think the duck should be a little bit bigger. How about that? Cool. Let's get a manifold going. Back to the basic shapes. Oh, definitely gotta cut off the bottom. It's all round at the bottom. That should do it. Take off about 2, 3, 4 millimeters from the bottom. Don't forget to D for drop. Here's a ring. Come here, Taurus. There we go. Resize. Don't forget to drop it down a little bit. Center everything as well. That should do it. Nice. So, straight up. Not quite right. There we go. That'll get the balloon on there. Cool. Nice and centered. Now let's cut out the holes. Again, you're gonna have to experiment with the perfect balloon size, the hole size. And there's a lot of variables. How much infill, how heavy your car is, and what size balloon. I've noticed with the very large balloons, they tend to kink and your car starts and stops, starts and stops. So let's get this exhaust going. That looks about right. Now this is a cool car, but you're gonna have to blow into the exhaust port when you fill up your balloon, which is kind of strange, but it's a cool car. Alright, let's get some axle holes going. Don't forget, in my case, 5x5. In your case, depends on what size your skewer sticks or whatever you're using for an axle. My little wooden skewer sticks have never let me down. They're easy to work with and always cheaply available. I think this is gonna have to raise up a little bit. Try that again. Yeah, something like that. Now the duck is not meant to be a car, so we're improvising a little bit. How far forward? Let's get it really far forward. We don't want the head to be too heavy and it fall forward. Alright, looking pretty good. That is the duck car. Nice. So we've got 3. What did that take us? 15 minutes? I like it. With a multicolor printer, you can make some really cool designs. Now for the wheels. You make your wheels however big or small you want. My 3mm in height, about 20mm to 10mm in diameter works pretty well. Making the axle hole. Now measure your barbecue skewer sticks or whatever axle you have very well. Try to use calipers if you have them. In my case, I normally have to drill these out a little bit. I can smash the skewer sticks in there, but it's a tiny bit easier if I drill it out. And there it is, a wheel. Shall we make more? Let's do copy and paste. Dun, dun. Now, before you do that, you gotta look at the sides. You can make this cylinder more smooth. Notice what's happening here. The amount of sides increases, the smoothness increases. The default from TinkerCAD makes the wheels a tad bit bumpy. In fact, you can actually hear them while they're rolling. It'll make a little bumpy sound. Alright, so we copy and paste 4 for each car. Get these situated. Try to push them nice and close so the 3D printer doesn't have so much wasted travel time. Copy and paste a group. There we go. Now we'll get this all situated so it sits nicely on the print bed. That should work. Perfect. And that is 3 fun little balloon cars. Good to experiment with. Get a little bit of physics action going there. Group it all together. Alright, now we export once it's grouped. There it goes. Looks pretty good. We've changed our name, so we just click the export. We're going to do STL. Find a place to put it. I'll just stick mine on the desktop. Go ahead, jump on over to the Creality Slicer program. If you are a BambU person, go ahead and jump to that section. In our case, we're going to choose a file to open. Here it is, balloon cars on my desktop. Alright, it's in there. Go ahead and make sure nothing is floating. Everything looks to be okay. So far, so good. We did a pretty good job in TinkerCAD, so I think we're going to be okay. First off, make sure our seams are random. Check the wall loops. In our case, 2 is fine. For infill, you really don't need much. These are not supposed to be incredibly strong. I'm going to give it 4%. Definitely want support for that duct. Go ahead and get your support. I like the tree, and I always put it on build plate only. I don't like pulling supports out of the inside of these little balloon cars. Alright, any other special things? If you want a skirt or brim, go ahead and enable it. In our case, we're just ready to slice. Not bad. 153 layers. Should take about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'm gonna check the support, make sure there's nothing weird it's gonna be too difficult to pull off. So far, so good. Alright, now how do we get this to the machine? In our case, we're gonna export, stick it on a thumb drive, run to the other room, and pop it in the printer. Now let's get the BambU going. Get out of the Creality, and here we are, back in BambU. Check your machine. What kind of plate are you using? Check the nozzles are correct, the type of printer plastic. I like the big layers, it prints faster. After that, make sure you've got 2 loops for the walls. That works fine. As far as infill, 5s is fine. Save the plastic, save the time. We do need support for the duct especially, and probably our manifolds. Make sure you click on build plate only, because you don't want to pull infill out of the inside of the manifolds. Alright, stick our file on there. Looking pretty good. No floaty sections, no parts too close together. Yep, think it'll work. Slice her up. Alright, let's check. Look for some support that's going to be too hard to get off. Looks good. Alright, let's send it to the printer. And that's it. It is ready to go. Pretty easy. Now I hope you have fun with this. The balloon cars are super cool. You can be super creative with these things.